point of this video is just to show you how to get started with the research paper process. The assumption is you already have a topic. Now you have to do two things. First thing is you got to establish a Noodletools account and link it with me. And the second thing you have to do is be able to start finding sources and adding them into your bibliography on Noodletools. So you'll notice under research paper stuff, it says copy of the intro slides about finding sources. That is the presentation that the librarian showed when we went to the library. So if you're absent, all the things I go over very quickly, you can basically go back and look in this slide deck. There's also lots of information in there about like what sources are the best for you to use. The number one thing you have to do is you have to go into your class link folder. Your class link launchpad might look a little bit different than mine, but you should have like a library folder. So you're going to click on library. Oops. You click on library and you need to find the Noodletools option. You're going to click on Noodletools. So it should take you to a login screen. You'll go in, you'll log in using your Google login information, and it should take you to probably what would be a blank screen. And you want to make sure that when you get to this screen, you go to the bottom and you click on your profile, and you just make sure that it says senior high. That's an important part of the process. So just make sure it says senior high and not junior high, in case it didn't change when you came over from the junior high. So what you need to do is create a new project for this year. Maybe you call it Civics research paper. You can like type in your own name. The citation style is going to be MLA, and the citation level is always advanced. So make sure when you click, it looks like this, and you hit submit, and it creates your project. So then this will be your project. This is one I used from a previous class for an example. So basically, this is what you just created. It tells you that you have 0 sources right now, and what you need to do is start going through and compiling sources. Now, that original slide deck that I showed you on the classroom page will have lots of like links to resources and things like that. But again, some of the databases that you can use to accomplish this assignment would be ABC Clio. That would be good. ProQuest is good. Power Library works. The library catalog to be able to actually look at books. So all of these things would work for you, right, as part of this project. I'm going to click, and you could use regular websites too. I'm going to click on ABC Clio. And this takes me to a list of the databases. Now, let's say my paper was on the death penalty. I would search the databases, and it tells me that all of these are articles about the death penalty. So let's say I click on the American government database, and I'm looking through like the results, and I come across an article like this one. Is the death penalty constitutional? The death penalty is irrational, unusual, and unconstitutional. So if I was definitely against the death penalty, or even if I was trying to figure out what my opponents believed, if I was in favor of the death penalty, this would be a good resource. So if I click on it, basically this is a good source. It gives like lots of information that's opinionated. It's not super long, but it provides a little bit of information, right? So if I decide I want this source and I want it to be part of my project, I go back to Noodletools and I click on my paper, my project, and it's a blank canvas right now because I don't have any sources. I'm going to go up to the top of the green button. I'm going to hit new source. Going back to my source, this is a database. So I'm going to click on database, and it's always original content in database. And it brings you to a really confusing looking screen. Most of it you can just ignore. You'll notice it says copy and paste a citation up here. The good news is you can skip all these steps. Most of the databases have some sort of like citation or cite like tab on it, where if you click on it, it'll already give you the MLA citation, and you can simply copy and paste it. All right, copy, and I go back to Noodletools, and I hit copy and paste citation, and I go down to manually edit citation, and I'm going to hit paste, and it's going to make me do Control V, and I hit OK, and it basically puts that in there. The other thing that I want to make sure they put in is the actual URL. So I go back to the database. It'll say get link. So this is the link to the actual database. I'm going to copy it, go back to Noodletools, and put in the URL. And then I'm going to hit save. And that adds one source to my paper. What is important about this is by putting in the link, it now is over here, and I don't have to go back and search through the database every time I want to find that article again. I can just click on the link, and it should automatically take me right to it. So, like ABC Clio and a couple of the other sort of databases, ProQuest, that's how you would do it. They're databases and original content, and that's how you add them in. Let's say if you want to do like a regular website and you type in death penalty, maybe you go pros and cons, and you're trying to look down through different sources. Should the death penalty be banned as a form of punishment? So maybe you decide that you want this one, right? Provides like some information here, right? So if you decide that this is like looks like a credible source and you want to add this into your paper, you would just simply go back to Noodletools and you would add a new source. Now this time it's a website because you got it from a regular website and it's a web page. And you would go back again to the source, copy and paste the URL, come back to Noodletools. There's the website URL. Right, and most recent date of access is today. So you can click on it and it'll fill in today. And then you just want to make sure you put in, if it doesn't have an author, which this one doesn't look like it had an author, you at least have to make sure you put in like the article title or the name of the website, right? So I think what you can do, I think the best way to do this is the article title is "Should the death penalty be banned as a form of punishment?" So you can put that article title here. And then the name of the website is actually balancedpolitics.org. Balancedpolitics.org. And then you hit save. And that throws another citation into the mix. So again, if you want to access it, you can go right to here. So you want to make sure that you accumulate as many sources as you can find related to your topic. The more sources, the better. You'll need at least a minimum of 6. And this list can change. If you originally put one in and you don't like it, you can delete it just by going over to here and hitting delete. If you want to add more in, this should be like an evolving process. But this is essentially how you add sources into your Noodletools account.